All right, everyone, it's September 16th. It's around 5 p.m. Mountain. Should be pretty easy to tell where you are. We're looking down at the two pump house buildings and then, of course, out toward Meander A and C. What I want to use this video for is to give folks a sense of a potential new sort of subdomain along the Pump House hill slope. We've been looking and trying to consider a more forested portion of the domain. We've been talking a lot about snodgrass. One of the things that we might want to consider, either in addition to as a precursory test, would be sort of tying into our work the same shale sequence. I know there's a lot of sun here. Hopefully you can see that. That's an absolute wall of shale outcrop. This is the little creek we're looking at right now that runs alongside the really steep descent to Pump House, just to sort of get your bearings. Again, that tiny little creek, I think most of you know, runs its way out onto the floodplain itself near Meander C. Anyhow, there's quite a bit of evergreen growth here that's right along the downslope into the creek. So the extent to which these trees may be sourcing their water from that surface water, which interestingly enough actually originates from snodgrass, makes its way all the way down here. It's a little bit complicated because I believe at certain times of the year, Mount Crested Butte Water and Sanitation Department releases a little water, which comes from the East River, and from their settling pond area, which drains into that creek. So hydrologically, could be a little bit interesting. What I want to draw your attention to, however, again, we have the opportunity to look at a combination of both conifers, looks like spruce and fir, but I need someone else to confirm, as well as aspen trees. The reason that this looks actually kind of interesting is importantly from an infrastructure in putting in wells, deep monitoring wells, we need access. And so while you can't quite see it, I think most everyone knows the access road down to the pump house buildings. We're looking along a very gentle slope that the drilling rig could easily come up. And so the idea would be the drill rig could make its way to the edge, and in some cases, I think, get fairly close to some of these larger trees. Again, those are in the vicinity of falling off down into that little creek drainage. These are really draining the same hill slope that drains Pump House, at least from the headlands. We won't necessarily be able to see it here, depending upon where I walk, but if we walk the periphery on the downslope side of this grove, potentially again a little research grove, up in that area there, zooming in on those aspen trees, which again, getting a little bit steeper the slope up there. I'm not sure how easy it would be able to get the drill rig to that location. Might be possible, but really you're looking up in the vicinity of the deep shale outcrop trench that Ben and Sergio dug. So again, one idea would be to back the drill rig up to be able to put one or more holes in this area. Potentially they could actually come in at an angle. So the drill rig would be sited here, and we'd be drilling not vertically, but at an incline. I'd need to get the specifications from the driller, but drilling into an incline into the hill slope. So at depth, we would actually start traversing, hopefully, some of the rooting zone of these trees. Again, both mixed conifer and aspen. So something to think about as we begin to move forward with developing our research plan for a forested portion of the domain.